I'm Brittany. I'm with Color Street for over a year and a half. I'm a director in the company. I'm so excited for tonight. Let's talk about some of the things that you guys can expect. So this one is a little bit more interactive. If you've been to the last two workshops that we just did, we talked about your why, understanding why you started your business and how you can grow. And then we talked, maybe this live video thing ain't gonna work because it just dropped the camera. And then last week we talked about your sales as servitude. So today we're going to talk about I can versus I can't, and this is positive growth mindset. So I'm really excited to grow with you guys. If you have a pen and a notepad, make sure that you have an open heart ready to receive, and then we are going to jump in. You guys ready?
Ready.
Ready, Freddie?
Yes, ready.
Okay. So we did a real fast recap just now. You guys already know what rapid response is, but if you haven't done this with me before, rapid response is an activity that we're going to do a couple times throughout today. I'm going to give you a rapid response prompt. I'm going to give you a minute to think about it, and I want you to answer with your instinctual response. So your gut reaction, why answer, okay? So here's your first rapid response today. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest and 5 being the highest, how would you rate your positive growth mindset? Now, positive growth mindset, that means that you look towards the future, you look at everything as an opportunity for growth, versus fixed mindset, where you find yourself in a place and this is where you are, this is your comfort zone, and you struggle to come out of that place or to grow past that point. So on a scale of 1 to 5, what would you rate your positive growth mindset? Okay, Sherry, go.
3.
Okay, Lisa.
Do you really want to hear my answer?
Yes, I do.
You know how I am. I'm anxious all the time and I worry. So I think about the future all the time, but I think about the worst case scenario. So sorry, I'm Debbie Downer.
No,
I'm a 1.
There's no right or
I'm
wrong
a
here.
1.
1, okay. You know what though? This is bringing attention to that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's all that this is doing. This is bringing attention to that.
And this is something that I'm working, like I want to apply to my whole life. So thank you for doing this.
Yay, I'm so glad. High five.
High five.
And high five to you guys, if anybody's there. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a bullet point. You can write this at the top of your page today. Fail forward. So Lisa has been with me for a while. She's grown up with me in my VIP community. So some of this is going to sound familiar from our Wind Down Wednesday conversations, Lisa, but I'm excited to put it in a different perspective tonight. So I want you guys to think about this, that everybody starts off with a mindset of, we're young babies, okay? And we all start in the beginning. And the different variables in our life that affect us affect how we view the world and how we view ourselves. And so that affects our growth mindset or our state of fixed mindset. But the difference between people who succeed in life and their peers who don't move past that fixed mindset is their ability to fail. That's it. Their ability to accept failure and move forward. So that's why I want you to remember, fail forward. So I'm going to share with you guys an anecdote. And this anecdote for me is very basic, Brittany, to now. And I've only been in for about a year and a half. And I'm going to tell you that when I started, I thought I was coachable. I have learned since then I was not being very coachable. I was being my stubborn self, and I wanted to do things my way. Well, I'll tell you that my very first party experience, I was so excited. I was so excited to come up with this cute theme. I found all my own graphics. I made everything the way I wanted it to be. I used my leader's verbiage, but then I tweaked it all like completely. It wasn't hers anymore. I was like, I'm going to use this and I'm going to change it completely to be mine. And I was so excited. But I didn't listen to any of her advice at all. And then I had my first party and no one came. My hostess came and maybe one other friend, but nobody really came or interacted. I could see that there were people. I could see that people had viewed the posts, but nobody played. Nobody purchased anything. My sales for my very first party were 0. Complete 0. Like, I got nothing out of that party, not even a party going forward. So it was a very humbling experience for me. And since that very first party, I tried to figure out what I did wrong. And I went back and I looked at everything I did, and I looked at the party my leader did for me. And then I asked her, I said, can you add me to some of your parties? Because I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I didn't get any sales. I didn't get any parties going forward, and nobody even played the games. She added me to a few of her parties, and I started to compare and look at them. And I still didn't feel fulfilled. I still didn't understand. So I continued searching. But as I was searching, I was stewing. Now, what we know about people who are in a fixed mindset is that they stay still. People who are in a growth mindset are continually failing forward so that they can experience growth. I did eventually start to grow forward, but I had to do a lot of things. I had to go to my coach, my leader, and ask for advice. I had to start watching trainings specifically on how to party, because that's where my struggle was as I just started out. And then I had to even reach out past her to other peers, alongside her sister stylists that I knew on my team, and ask them what were their experiences. My next party had $100 in sales, which I felt like was a huge win. I was so excited. And then from there, I looked around at the things that worked and didn't work and continuously tweaked. I will tell you that to this day, none of my parties are completely the same, because I'm continuously tweaking and I'm continuously looking at, well, this worked for this person and this didn't work for this person. Or how did I coach this person that did or didn't work for this person? And always looking at the different variables. But I've learned since that very first party that sitting and stewing in it doesn't help. And I did. I'm continuously failing, but I'm continuously failing forward. So that's the story for me of a little bit of failure. That's a very simple failure story. I want you guys to think now in a rapid response. Give me one thing, okay? What is one thing that you feel like you are failing at? And it can be business related or it can be personal. Just one, and you don't have to go into detail.
Consistency.
Okay, good.
I'm having a hard time narrowing it down.
Just pick one.
It's my workflow. It's getting started on my workflow. It's that first thing that, when you sit down and do something and you do that first thing, then you do more.
Right.
It's that first thing. It's sitting down and doing that first thing.
Good. That's really good, you guys. This is going to go right along with that. Okay, I'm going to tell you something that is going to hurt your heart a little bit, Sherry, but it's going to be a heartfelt nudge in the right direction. Okay, write this down. This is something I have on my bathroom mirror, you guys. If you don't fail, you're not even trying. So take a step back and look at what you're failing at. Are you failing at being consistent because you keep trying things and it's not working for you, Lisa?
Yes, there's that. And then, other things from life kind of get in, and then I push this kind of to the back burner. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that makes sense.
Yes, no, it does. It does make sense. So it's good for you to identify that right now. And it's also good for you to know that it sounds like you need tweaking on your schedule. So that's the area that maybe you continuously fail at, but you need to tweak, and now you know where to focus. So, okay.
I agree with you on the schedule, because I don't calendar block, and I don't have a specific time that I'm working on the business at all. I just do it kind of whenever. So
That's okay. I think that now that you're aware of that, you can start to work on that, finding
yeah.
time for your business, because you have to look at this as a job. If you had a business that you clocked into, you would clock in at the time that you were told to do it. So a lot of times when we're in business for ourselves, we think that when we self-manage, we don't have to clock in anymore. But in reality, we have to work harder at clocking in, because otherwise we don't, and we push it to the side. Okay, so now we know failing forward is our focus, and that if we're not failing, which is good, people think of failing as bad. I want you guys to scratch that from your brains. It's not bad, it's good, because if you're not failing, you're not even trying. So to get something that you never had, you have to be willing to do something that you've never done. That implies action. All of that is an action-based statement. And what, on the flip side, what you have done in the past will not get you to the next level of where you want to go. So let's say, for example, I had started off as that brand new stylist, booking my parties, and I stayed in that place, and I decided not to reach out to my upline, but I decided to instead just try again and do another party. And I was going to use the same graphics, the same verbiage, everything the same, even my hostess coaching. Do you think that I would have had greater success, or about the same?
Same.
Probably about the same. And so the difference is that I decided I wasn't going to stay where I was. I wasn't going to settle for that place of failure. I was just going to reach out to the sides and reach out to the different resources that I had at my fingertips to try to really investigate, well, what did I do wrong? And how do I get out of that? It sounds so basic, but a lot of times we don't reach up and out. We just stay here and we sulk. I do it too, I promise. But we're going to get out of that today. So growth doesn't happen where we're comfortable. And this is going to hurt a little bit. And it hurts me because these are mine. These are my weak places, okay? So for me, it's comfortable. I've talked about this in the past couple of videos. It's comfortable for me to sit on the couch, eat Ben & Jerry's, and watch my favorite Netflix shows. That's my comfort zone. It's uncomfortable for me to put my kids to bed and then do my dishes because I have to, and then go work for 2 hours. And now it is going to be at 2 hours in the evening, which is harder for me. I would much rather just lay on the couch and relax. But now I'm actually even changing my personal schedule because my son is no longer napping during the day. So I have to take away my work hour during the day and plug it in at night. So I'm going to be clocking in at nights now, which is like, oh, seriously, I'm dying thinking about it. But that's my uncomfortable shift. Okay. It's comfortable for us to make a post in our VIP community or in our party, asking for a party going forward, or asking for people to book with us and get a free set. That's comfortable. It's uncomfortable to privately message those people in your VIP community who are really active, or to message the people who are really active in the party playing the games and say, hey, I'd like to send you a free gift. Please shoot me a private message back with your address, and then follow up and ask them to have a girls' night for you. It's uncomfortable for us to ask people who we know would be great in the business, or who we know are curious, and we've already started that conversation, and we just need to follow up. Following up is uncomfortable. It's much more comfortable to say, hey, would you like to try this? Or would you like to get some more information? And they say, no, thanks, maybe later. And then we just don't follow up. That's comfortable. So I'm going to say that for me, where I'm at, I've reached director, and I'm in a place right now where I'm working on maintaining rank and moving up to the next level, to senior director. And if I messed that up, then I'm sorry, I need to go back and do my graphics. But so I'm working on upping my rank. And so currently for me, that uncomfortable action that I'm taking is investigating what are all the things that I need to be doing to get to the next level. So I want you guys to think, for me, it's senior director. What is the next level for you? This is your rapid response. So think about it for a minute, and then I want to hear what you think. What's the next level for you? And it doesn't have to be rank. It can be something else. Okay, Sherry.
I honestly my next level is actually to get back to where I was a couple of months ago. Because as I'm hearing, everybody has kind of dropped off right now, and I feel like I'm climbing back up to where I was. I want to be at least, I've maintained senior stylist, thank you to people, but I need to get back up to sales where they were and maintain my rank.
Lisa, what about you?
I kind of took May off. I had some parties scheduled that I asked to reschedule because I was super busy with my daughter graduating and other things that were going on in my personal life. So my next level right now, honestly, is to get back in the game and, start, get back on the parties and then, my VIP group, it's like the same 3 people that talk. And then in the parties, I don't know, I need to do some tweaking on my parties and stuff, I guess, too. But anyway, long story short, I just want to be Q this month.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And get back and get my head back in the game.
Yes, that's good. So the next level for you is to hit BQ and then to get to, a place where you're switching your mindset. That's really good. Okay. Don't mind my extraneous notes. You guys know I would be lost without my notes. Okay, so a lot of times when people are stuck or not experiencing growth, the first place to look is their habits. And that's for me, that's for most people, period. So we're going to unpack some habits right now. And this is going to be an activity. I'm going to go through it with you, and then I want you guys to write down as you go through it with yourself. You can do it as a journal, and then I'd love to hear from you if you want to share. So I want you guys to focus on 3 to 5 words for this exercise. So we talked about that when you're trying to up to the next level, you need to be willing to do something that you've never done before. What do you have to get to? Where do you have to be? Sorry, what do you have to be to get to the next level? So think about maybe some character traits here or some action-based exercises, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to tell you what mine are. So I want to get to the next level, and I need to be more consistent sending out my mail to my customers. I need to be more reliable for my team. I need to be more results oriented and understand the data that I'm collecting when I'm having a party or helping my girls with enrollment. I need to be more, maybe yours are authentic or coachable. I wrote a few down for other people, but I also need to be more trustworthy. So this was for me. When I say that I'm going to do something, if I get tired, I'm not going to slack off. I'm going to come up alongside what I said I'm going to do and follow through. That's both reliable and trust with my customers and with my team. But maybe your traits, the things that you need to be able to do to grow, are being fearless. Maybe you need to look at the things that you're afraid of. Are you afraid of going live because you think others are going to judge you? Are you afraid to ask somebody or share the opportunity with her because you're afraid of what she'll think of you? Are you focused on what other people think and not focused on providing value to your customers and having the best parties available, or coaching them through their parties? Do you need to be organized? Do you need to be more confident or more open, more authentic? So think about maybe 3 to 5 words that you need to be to get to the next level. And then we're going to focus on the flip side. What do you need to let go of? So you need to be willing to do some things you've never done before, but you also need to be willing to let go of some things in order to grow. So I'm going to tell you mine. These are from the heart. It's not something I'm proud of, but I need to let go of laziness. I need to let go of procrastination. I need to let go of mismanagement and excuses. Mismanagement can be mismanagement of your time, your money, or your resources. We all have resources, and a lot of times we don't use them wisely. I also need to let go of being inconsistent. And pride, maybe sometimes a little bit of pride, because I've definitely had a few months where I didn't do well with enrolling because my pride held me back from following up or from continuing to ask or share. I was afraid to share because I had been turned down too many times. And that's a pride issue. That's an ego issue. We're not going to share something that's blessed us because we don't want to be hurt. You know what I mean? So limiting beliefs are the next place that we're going to go. Do you guys want to share any of your focus words to help you grow?
Focus was my word of the year, you know, when people were picking a word of the year.
Yeah.
And I have failed at being focused. Need to be more focused and more present.
Those are good ones. What about you, Lisa? Do you want to share anything?
I just put one of the things for me, I need to be better about the follow through and the focus, like you just mentioned, and then organization. I think I'm working on that, but I need that definitely. Yeah. And then I also put be fearless, you know what I mean? Because as you know, I've talked to you many times about this. Makes me so anxious to talk to people, you know what I mean? Like to ask people about parties or to ask, you know what I'm so afraid to bug people, like, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah, we all do. We really do. So limiting beliefs are a buzzword. You've probably heard them. We've talked about it before very briefly. It's a buzzword in the motivational community right now. So it's everywhere online. But they are popular for a reason. And the reason is because we all have them and we all struggle with them. They're relatable to everyone. So I want you to think about limiting beliefs like this. They are predetermined beliefs about who you are, what you're capable of, and how you are perceived by others. So we're going to go through a little imagery here. I want you to imagine that you're at a huge company party. Okay, maybe it's a company party, maybe it's just a huge soiree, and you're in a massive building. It's gorgeous. I'm thinking like the Die Hard building is what I'm imagining. So you've got these gorgeous gardens at the bottom, pools and fountains and koi, and everybody down at the bottom is having a wonderful time. Everyone has a cocktail in hand. It's a fabulous evening. But several levels above, you can see at the very top, there's a glass ceiling. And at the very top of the glass ceiling, there's a rooftop party. Okay, you can see the rooftop party. You can see the guests who are there, and they are A-listers. They are fabulous. They are fierce. They are fun, and you want to be one of them. So you start working your way up. You know, you take the stairs or you take the elevator. It doesn't matter. You're still going up, whichever way you go. And you're getting all the way to the top. you're working hard, whether you're taking the elevator and it's a fast track, or whether you are going slow with some organic growth over here on the stairs. But then you get to the very top, the very last level, and you can see through the glass ceiling and you can see the people who are there. Okay, and maybe you think to yourself as you're peering out at the crowd, wow, she's so beautiful. Wow, he is so funny. Wow, I know that this person works so hard and they have so much motivational energy, this spark. I don't have that. And instead of reaching for the doorknob that's just right there, you've climbed all the way to the top, you're at the glass ceiling, you can see the party above you. You're so close. All you have to do is reach over and open the door and enter. You stop at the knob and you don't even turn it and try. That's your limiting beliefs, okay? They're like a glass ceiling over you that stops you from even trying to get to the next level. You go up to a certain level and then you stop because you have limiting beliefs about yourself, about who you are, about what you're capable of, and about how others perceive you. So now that you kind of have that imagery in your mind, I want you to start to think about what is one or two. You don't have to share them here, but I want you to think about them and then write them down. We all have them. If you'd like to share, I'd love to hear them. What are some limiting beliefs that you have about yourself? What stops you from trying to reach the next level? I will just tell you guys that I have limiting beliefs too. I have limiting beliefs that I'm not a good enough leader, that I don't know how to walk other people through, the next steps. That's a limiting belief about myself that I have. A lot of times I'm able to encourage and motivate girls to jump on board and dive in, but then they're struggling and I feel sometimes like I'm floundering with them and I don't know how to swim well enough to save them. So that's a limiting belief I have about myself, is that I'm not a good enough leader to help anyone else. And I'm recently starting to step out of that and say, they chose you to be their leader because you can do this. And I still struggle with that belief, but I'm choosing to fail forward in that, okay? And I can't talk right now, but that's one of my limiting beliefs. Do you guys want to share one or two of yours?
My long-standing limiting belief is that I'm too boring for first having parties, but second being a leader. Like, why would anybody want to be on my team? Because I'm too boring.
Thanks for sharing that, Sherry. Do you want to share, Lisa? You don't have to if you don't want to.
Not really.
Okay, that's totally fine. So,
But P.S., you're a great leader.
thanks. I'm really trying. And sometimes, I don't know, I was watching a coaching video the other day. This is seriously in my head, y'all. And one of the things they said in there was, if you want to be a good coach, stop trying so hard. And I was like, oh, that hurts. It cut me to the core. Okay. So now that we all identify, we have limiting beliefs, I have them too. I want you to ask yourself, do you consistently tell yourself I can't, or do you consistently tell yourself I can? And you don't have to answer that, but I'm going to break it down for you. If you're telling yourself I can't is an acronym that you can write down for reference. It certainly helped me. It's tough. It's very straightforward. I can't stands for I certainly am not trying. So if you stop yourself before you even reach the doorknob, because you have limiting beliefs about what you're capable of and who you are as a child of God or whatever you believe, then you're cutting yourself short and you're not trying at that point because you've already decided that you can't. On the flip side, if you're saying, I can, which is what I want you to flip your script to, we're going from I can't to I can. I can stands for I certainly am now. So maybe you couldn't before today, but after we've unpacked some habits and decided where we're going to the next level, I want you to start to flip that script and think, I certainly am now. Whatever you believe in your mind is what will come to fruition. So what are you going to do with what you have? Last week, we talked a little bit about sales as service. If you guys missed it and you want to go back and watch it, I'm going to encourage you to go back because we really broke down what do you have to offer the world? Because whatever you have, you can take what you have and move and grow forward with it. A lot of us don't start off with resources that are tangible, like money or items. We start off with resources that are of greater value and intrinsic value, like your time, your empathy, any knowledge or skills that you have. These are things you can use to grow. So go back to week 2 and find out how you can use those to serve others and grow to the next level. Sometimes failing is the best way to find your path. So please, I want you to really think about this again. Shift your focus to one of failing forward. It literally takes 15 seconds to change the trajectory of your life. So after you guys go through this, decide what habits that you need to unpack to move forward. What do you need to do to grow? And then what do you need to let go of? And this is the last thing I'm gonna leave you guys with. Jackie Kennedy spoke this over me, and she spoke this over all of us, but it specifically touched me, and I looked it up afterwards. She said, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. She wasn't the original person to say this. It was actually said by Henry Ford, but she's right. Whether you can or you can't, you're right. So tonight, I want you to decide that I can do this. I can continue to grow. I can continue to reach out to my sides and above me for help and be coachable and use the resources that are at my disposal. And then unpack those habits that are holding you back from reaching your goals because they're not helping you. If you're failing forward. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you. I'm so grateful that you guys came, and I hope this was helpful to you.
It was.
It certainly was, Brittany.
Yay. Well, I love you guys, and I hope you have an awesome Sunday. I am going to actually do some work now because my baby's asleep.
Enjoy. And then after you do that work, don't work all night. Then get your Ben and Jerry's and your Gilmore Girls on.
You know what? I actually did buy some yesterday. It's like my crack. I buy 1 pint of Ben and Jerry's every week, and it doesn't do anything for my fitness goals. It's just something I look forward to every week.
You deserve a treat.
Thank you. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
Thank you.